Okay, we discussed encryption already. I think we covered most of it. These are just some details, additional details. Does anybody have any questions on encryption? All right. One thing I wanted to point out with APX encryption, we use something called our encryption module is FIPS level 3. What does that mean? What it means is most of other vendors they don't have that level of encryption, and with we have either a level 1 or a level 2. We go ahead and we make access. We go ahead and incorporate the FIPS level 3 encryption. So if the mace, which is the encryption module, is physically tampered, with FIPS level 3, we would actually raise all the keys, so nobody will get access to your radio and be able to hear your conversation. So just wanted to point that out. We would actually raise the keys, not only provide a notification that that the encryption module was tampered, but we're also in addition to that raise the keys. And all APX radios with encryption board comes with this makes level 3. And then this is our last section, APX, the accessory section. The first thing that you know is that the APX uses different batteries and different audio accessories because the APX uses this new improved G-High side connector that's different from the XTS series, so there is no accessory converter. You would have to get new audio accessories. The good news is on the battery side, if you have impressed chargers today that you're using with your XTS, you can reuse those impressed chargers. You would just get plastic inserts that look like this, plug into your XTS impressed chargers, and you can reuse those. So if you remember Impress technology that we offer with the XTS as well as APX, by the way, all APX batteries are incorporated this Impress technology on the batteries. What it is the battery has a chip inside it that communicates with the charger and provide critical information that resides in the battery, such as how many times the battery has been charged, what's the rated capacity, how much capacity it has left, and it also tells the charger that when it needs to be reconditioned. So when it's time to recondition the battery, it will do that automatically. That exchange of information will give that ability. So that is Impress technology, which is like intelligent, which stands for like intelligent battery, right? We have also incorporated this Impress technology on our. This is the picture of. Sorry, this is the picture of the different offerings we have for the chargers. There's a multi-unit charger that fits up to 6 radios, and you see there's a display there. On that display, and I have one right there, you can see the battery capacity. You can also even see battery capacity on your radio itself. If you have the menu button for batteries, I'm going to pass this around. Battery says here, this particular battery's rated capacity percentage is 90%, remaining capacity in terms of milliamp hours. This is a 2900 milliamp hour battery. Now the remaining capacity is 2641. The loosened capacity and estimated charges.
Can you program that Cradle multiple devices at one time, or since we're on the charging mechanism here, the Cradle, when you have multiple devices, would I be able to program the radio in there?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. The question is, can I program the radio from the Cradle? The answer is no. You can't. You can't connect. You can plug in the radio, but it's charging program.
Trying to get away from that cable.
Through the charger, at least you can. Yeah, you have to attach the cable to the side connector. But it's gonna pass this around. So you can even see the battery information directly from your radio. When you connect, when you put your battery to charge on the in-fast charger, you either see a green light, which means the battery has been charged, a red light, which is charging, and sometimes you see an orange light, because if it's time to recondition, it automatically do that. And when you see the orange light, you will notice that the battery will decharge before it fully charges back up again. So just remember to be careful if you're in a hurry and you don't want the battery to decharge, but make sure it's charged, make sure you see the red light. This dual unit charger actually has a reconditioning switch in the bottom, so you can actually change the switch so that it doesn't recondition the battery if you don't want to. I think that was it for batteries. And there's battery chargers for the vehicle. This one in the bottom here, the vehicle charger. We do have a travel charger also that connects to the car cigarette lighter. These are the pictures of the inserts for your XCS chargers.
Of course, the customer has APX 6000 portables now with a multi-unit charger, and they buy APX 4000s. Kind of mix them up. Wouldn't they still need a pocket to make it work?
Yeah, it's different. It's different chargers. Good question as well. The APX 4000s and 6000, 7000 series, they do have different batteries as well. So they can
have pockets to make them.
The question if there is an insert for the 7000 chargers for the 4000. I have to check on that. I know there is one for the XTS 5000 series.
There
You
is.
can put the pocket. There should be a pocket too.
There is a,
We had that come up last week, we were trying to find a pocket.
there absolutely is.
Did I miss anything with the chargers? And then we also incorporated the synchronized technology onto our audio accessories. So the audio accessories on the APX series also have the chip inside them that communicates with the radio and automatically optimizes its parameters to fit whichever radio it's connected to, and it optimizes its audio profiles. There is so many, in your package there you have a APX portable accessory catalog. We have several types of remote speaker microphones to fit anybody's needs. We have the ones that are a little bit larger with 1 watt speakers like this, and this particular one has even a display on the accessory, so to make it even easier for you to see which channel is on you're in just from your shoulder mic. This one has a channel selector and a volume switch. We have versions without the channel selector. We have a version without the display that looks just like this. And the audio accessories on the APX series are extremely loud. Definitely louder than anybody else who offer. So, increase the volume, there's a rocker switch.
Because it's the same power speaker in the handset, it's the same wattage. It's one
Yeah, they're
watt.
both 1 watt. The 7000 is 1 watt speaker. The speaker mic is also 1 watt speaker. And these 1 watt speakers you can connect to any APX. So all the audio accessories are interchangeable between all series, from a 4000 to a 7000. It's different than the battery, because the battery of the 4000 series is in fact different. As far as the public safety microphone that I know a lot of you use, the 4000 series doesn't have that RF path that we talked about before. So for public safety mic use, you do need to go with a 6000 series or 7000. So the 4000 wouldn't work there. Then there are several other accessory options, such as a tempo transducer that takes the vibration from your bones. Other types of speaker microphones, there are noise canceling, recording, that look like this. So a lot of choices for you to make. November of last year. After we cancel a product, always we provide 5 years of parts and support after the official cancellation date. So on the XTS 5000 series, the 5-year clock started in November of last year. The XTS 2500 and 1500s, we didn't cancel those yet. We didn't send an announcement or intend to cancel or anything like that. But it could be canceled as early as December of this year. So if it happens in December, then the 5-year clock will start.
And that was for
end of
which
this
model?
year.
Which model? The 25?
The remaining models on the XTS series, so the 2500 and 1500 would probably happen at the same time. But again, there's no cancellation date or nothing has been decided. But I just wanted to let you know that it could potentially be as early as December of this year. Any questions on that? These are the XC remote speaker microphones. On these XC series, it does offer dual microphone noise suppression as well. The other series are still using one microphone for noise suppression, but the XC series does use dual microphone noise suppression. There's 2 microphones here, and they use the same type of technology, type of adaptive beam technology that we offer on the radio itself. So it creates a beam around it and focuses sensitivity on that direction. So it's very, very effective as far as noise suppression. The other ones are too, especially on like wind noise. For this one, I wish we had a wind blower so that we could test it out. But this is very, very effective with wind noise. And noise cancellation in general. It still uses the noise cancellation software that's inside the radio. Just not 2 microphones, just 1 microphone. For the mobiles, we have several accessories as well. Most of the mobile accessories that we use today with your XTL series would work with the APX. Same antennas, same power microphones, speakers. So everything is reusable. And on the mobile, if you have a not a high power, mid-power radio, then it would also reuse the same mounting poles as the XTL series.
Do you have a high performance antenna that you can also equip on the handheld radio?
So as far as antennas on the radios, thank you. The standard antenna for single band 7800 is this antenna right here. It's a 1/2 watt antenna.
Okay, it's a little long.
That's the standard antenna. Some users want it shorter, and because of that, we do offer the stubby antenna that is a quarter wave. As far as, of course, you get reduction in performance when you go from one to the other. But depending on how your system is designed and how your coverage, how much coverage you have, what places you go, you may be just, you may be okay with the quarter wave. I would suggest that you test them out before making a decision. But it could be as much as 3 watt loss in coverage, which is a lot, yeah. So depending, it could be significant. But I do know that you seldom have you have sold the quarter wave antenna so far, right? And nobody has complained, right? Okay. So Ron has sold mostly the quarter wave to the users who have bought it so far, and nobody has complained about coverage. And this is all I had today. You learn about the form factor, how we design radios for specific agency needs. We have the APX 6000, which was designed specifically with police user in mind. We have the XC series, which was designed specifically for the fire market. And then we have the 4000, which was designed mostly for like entry your users, and corporate radios that were designed for corporate operations. So we try to tailor as much as we can for your specific needs. We don't use like cookie cutter approach, like one size fits all. We have several models from Model 1 to Model 3. So we try to do the best we can. And as far as specifications, the APX series has the best specifications in the market. So when you look at those spec sheets, all those parameters like sensitivity, selectivity, what does that mean to you? What that means to you is that you're going to hear and be heard. And that's what matters the most in the end. Noise suppression, you've heard the live demonstration here today. It's phenomenal. And our accessories, like we have a wide portfolio of accessories that we use in press technology, best quality, best audio as well. And that is all I have. I'm going to turn it over to Glenn.
Okay, thank you. And again, just to kind of put some bookends on this, understanding how you operate, the radios that you're using now, our assumption would be, quite frankly, that in the policing service we use probably an APX 6000 Lite. The reason I say light, as was indicated in the presentation, you have no need to talk to other legacy 4.1 systems. P25 is who you will be communicating with. So the extra dollars that you would spend to get the non-light version would be wasting money. So I kind of had an envision in my mind that in law enforcement, we would be looking at the standard APX 6000 Lite with either the WIN microphone or the standard public safety speaker microphone, okay? In a situation where you have a motor squad, motorcycle units, the wind-resistant microphone does a great job. If you have a mobile unit that's specifically designed for that motorcycle unit, totally different situation there. For the fire service, oh, and by the way, there was some discussion about the water resistance of that speaker microphone. It's not submersible, but that radio is designed for a police officer to be standing and pouring down rain and operate, and his voice not be impeded by the water. Again, a lot of design went into not just keeping the water from getting into the mechanism, but flowing that water out of the grill so that your voice isn't muffled. For the fire service, I'm not going to be repetitive. We talked about the speaker microphone, the XE extreme noise profiles. We did some testing over in Athens last week, actually, and the fire department was blown away by what you observed today. On a large quantity of radios, if you have a large department that's migrating to this, Motorola can in fact go so far as creating an extreme profile customized for what you like to hear. Okay, bear in mind, beauty is in the eye of the beholder when it comes to sounds. You put 10 people in the room and you say, what sounds better to you, you're going to get 10 different opinions. So we observed in Athens last week that in addition to the aggressive profile, which would be good for, say, a police officer rushing to a scene, the siren is blaring in the background, the aggressive, which would be good for a firefighter, with the path alarm going off or the cutting saw. In addition to that, they can do a custom profile where I equate it to using an equalizer on an old stereo. You know, you tweak this piece up a little bit, or I'd like the bass a little more like this. So we can do those types of things, and we will. On the fire departments, XE speaker microphones, you know, it has the strobe light, it has the Bluetooth interface into your Scott Air packs. What I have recommended for a number of my customers, certainly the marvels of the larger knob, the different cadence of the knob so you can operate with gloves, the polarized lens. 9 times out of 10, when a firefighter pops into action, he's going to tuck that radio away in his fire gear. So it's in a pocket, tucked away, out of sight, out of mind. It's important to note that the XE speaker microphone can be put on an APX 4000 radio or an APX 6000 radio. Again, that radio tucked away at a lesser cost. This is your primary interface, which is on the outside. It still has that water resistancy. It still has all the characteristics that it would have if it were hooked up to the XE radio. So again, not to be repetitive, but we with our portfolio, tried to specialize. You know, the guy that's driving the motor grader, the guy that's cutting the grass, the guy that's fighting fires, they all have different requirements, and we have the equipment to accommodate that. Before we close and break for lunch, I want to thank you one more time for your attendance. We appreciate your interest and the opportunity to tell you about our products. Are there any other questions we can answer? Are there any deliverables we can provide in the form of additional information, whatever you may need? Okay, anything?
To reiterate, our goal, what we're going to do is we want to follow back up with each of you guys. And when I say we always talk about Motorola and mobile communications. We're partnered in this together, so somebody from our team will be following up with each of your departments. So just be thinking about the options. Like one of the options that we were talking about was, is it important for your department to have 1 meter for 1 hour or 2 meters for 2 hours? And those accessory books, you know, look at those. If you've got any questions, if you need to see and feel and touch them, Sally, Ron, I mean, we'll get one. If we need to get it out and let you play with it, I mean, that's kind of the point of today. Again, we just want you to be really informed, and then we'll come back, follow up with you guys, get you some pricing. One of the questions that came up earlier was, hey, I've got radios right now, I've got some spares sitting on the shelf. How do I talk to somebody about replacing radios? And the goal is, in 5 years, what we know is we're going to be cannibalizing parts. That's not a great position to be in. You know, so we want to be thinking about right now, if you guys are working on budgets for next year or 2 years or 3 years from now, we're thinking about that well in advance of before we have an issue where we can't get a part. We'll work with you, we'll cannibalize radios if we need to, but the best prepared way would be to start phasing these radios out. And anything we can do to help you in that budget process.
Speak to demos, please.
Speak to what?
To demos, if they want to get their hands on electronics.
If you want to try some radios, if you want to play with some, if you'll let us know, we'll make that happen.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Give us a couple of days notice, a week's notice, and generally what we can get would be one of the XE 6000 series radios, and then one of the standard 6000 radios with one of each of the microphones. And one point to close with, not that it has anything to do with this meeting today, Motorola right now has got an extremely aggressive promotion going on their subscriber radios to increase business for the first half of the year. And in addition to the Georgia State contract, which is normally a 25% discount, there is an additional $450 to $500 off per radio, depending on the mix of radios. And in some cases, quite frankly, they've offered a lesser discount, but they provided 0% financing for 3 years with payment in arrears. And a lot of customers have taken advantage of that because you could literally sign a contract today, your first payment on the radios is due 12 months from today, and then the payment's 12 months after that for 3 years. So they can provide that 0% financing, and there are some aggressive price promotions going on right now. But again, we didn't want to end by putting on our sales hats and doing any kind of a sales pitch, but we did want to make available the resources that we have. If you need some demo radios, if you want to do some testing to see how it functions for you, please let us know that. We'd be more than happy to set that up.
And thanks to our firefighters who came out and let us see it live, and for pushing us on a test that we've not ever done before. When he said that they wanted to talk with the mask on, that's not something anybody's ever asked us. I'm very glad it was a successful test. But thanks to all of you guys for being here. Glenn, Renata, thank you guys very much.
Any other questions before we close and open it up for lunch? Thanks.